Welcome to Family Life with Mama Rita. Last week was something else with WMG. I enjoyed the WMG virtual camp Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 services. I didn't miss any of them. And now I feel like I am 16 because I was part of the WMG camp. If you missed the WMG camp, please go back and watch it. Tuesday was powerful. Wednesday, we had the family life. Thursday, Friday. Thursday with Reverend Ima, all the way from Maryland, US of A. Our camp was international. We flew all the way to Maryland, grace to grace, to listen to Reverend Ima. And then on Friday, powerful miracle service with the Apostle General himself. It was something else. Sunday morning, Sunday second service, and then the communion service Sunday evening is what is keeping me today. So welcome to Family Life with Mama Rita. Today, I want to give a special couple a shout. My daughter, Sister Crow, what's her first name? What? It's not Millicent. Asabia. Christy Asabia Amatefio Tete. Or Tete Amatefio. And my son-in-law, Nicholas Amatefio Tete. They are celebrating 13 years in marriage today. Nicholas and Asabia, God bless you. May the Lord increase you. May your marriage be sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. May people look at you and desire to marry. May the Lord make your children great. May they honor you. May they never bring you shame. I pray academic excellence over their lives, over the lives of my grandchildren, the 3 strong boys. May the Lord bless them and give them a voice in this nation. And as for the 2 of you, may the Lord place money in your hands. May it be well with you in the name of Jesus. Nicholas, make sure you are taking my daughter out. I will find out. God bless you. Last week we started with the subject, how to build friendship in your relationship. How to build friendship in your relationship. When we talk about relationship, we are talking about courtship, and then we are also talking about marriage. So how to build your relationship in your courtship and how to build your relationship in your marriage. And we said something that research shows that couples who are friends are happier, they feel safer, they value each other, and are healthier than those who are not. Research also shows that friendship in marriage is 5 times more important than physical intimacy. I hope you remember what I said last week. I also said last week that friendship in relationship is not automatic. You need to work at your friendship. If you don't work at your friendship will become stale. There are ways to develop, build, and strengthen your friendship with your partner. We looked at establishing a time each week to spend quality time together. So we said, number 1, establishing a time each week to spend quality time together. Number 2, we looked at communication. Communication is the bedrock of every relationship. Without communication, my darling, you are going nowhere with your friendship. Communication is like the air, like the oxygen we breathe. Praise the Lord. Communication. And I hope between last week and today, you have established the time to spend quality time. Between last week and this week, you have had better communication. And I said communication is like location when it comes to business. And then number 3, we looked at exploring the interest of your spouse or what they are passionate in and join them in it. Explore the interests of your spouse. What is it that interests your spouse? What is his interest? What is her interest? What is she or is he passionate in? As much as you can, join him in doing it. And last week I was telling you a story about when we travel, I will join my husband in the golf course. Though I do not know how to play golf, I will write the card for him and he will play. And then he would also get a day and then go out shopping with me, though he doesn't like shopping. He doesn't actually shop. And I realized that in doing that, we have built our relationship. We are going to continue today, and we are looking at number 4. We did number 1, we did number 2, and number 3. We are looking at number 4. Number 4, treat the relationship as a partnership venture. Treat the relationship as a partnership venture. I hope somebody heard me. Treat the relationship as a partnership venture. John chapter 15, verses 14 and 15. I am reading from the New King James Version. And it reads, Jesus, the whole Jesus, said to his disciples, "You are my friends. You are my friends." This is Jesus speaking to the disciples. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. No longer do I call you servants. No longer do I call you servants. For a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends. I have called you friends. For all things that I heard from my Father, I have made it known to you. Treat the relationship as a partnership venture. The whole Jesus, the Son of God, the one who is God himself, the one who is part of the Trinity, said to his disciples, "You are not servants. You are actually friends. You are my friends." So if Jesus says you are my friends, my darling, marriage is a partnership. You treat your spouse as an equal. You talk as equals. You chat as equals. You communicate as equals. You share ideas as equals. You don't treat your spouse as a slave. You don't treat your spouse as a child. You don't treat your spouse as your student. You don't treat your child as a subordinate. You don't treat your child, your spouse as a slave. You don't treat your spouse as a child or as your child. The 21st century children, even if you are the parent, you are the father, and you are the mother, and you don't speak to them with respect, my darling, they will challenge you. They will challenge you. They will tell you, Daddy, you have disrespected me. Daddy, you didn't speak to me well. Mommy, I don't like the way you spoke to me. Daddy, say I'm sorry. Even the 6-year-old child, 4-year-old child, my granddaughter Samzoe will tell the mother, Mommy, say I'm sorry. And until you say I'm sorry, she won't leave you. You are not my friend. You are not my best grandma again. My darling, so you don't treat your spouse as a slave. You don't treat your spouse as a child or as your child. You don't treat your spouse as a student. And don't treat your spouse as a subordinate. You don't boss them around. Let your spouse be part of a discussion and listen and pay attention to their suggestions or their opinions. You don't talk and talk and talk and talk and give instructions upon instructions upon instructions and expect that she will obey the instructions. My darling, that is not marriage. Marriage is a partnership. So in communicating with your spouse, you talk, she listens. When you are done, she talks, and you also listen. Even when there's a disagreement, my darling, you disagree out of respect or with respect. You don't insult each other. I hope somebody is listening to me. Please, men, if you are listening, don't switch off the television. Please, stay on Powerline TV. Don't change the channel. I am helping you. I am helping you to be a better husband. I am helping you to enjoy your relationship. I am helping you so your marriage will be solid. This is what Apostle General has done to make his marriage a solid one. Because of the way you treat your spouse, because of the way you treat your wife. Anytime you go out and you are coming, the heart of your wife starts panting. She's scared because for her, her boss is coming home. Her master is coming home. Her superior is coming home. Sometimes she hides. She runs and go into bed and cover herself with a cloth or with a duvet or a comforter and pretend she's asleep. She's not asleep. She's scared of the way you scream again. My darling, when you are talking to your spouse, lower your voice. When you shout, you're actually not communicating. When you scream, you're actually not communicating. When you are so angry, you're actually not communicating. Treat the marriage, treat the relationship as a partnership venture. Number five, important. One way to build friendship in the relationship is to make your spouse feel important. My darling, every human being loves to feel important. Even those who haven't succeeded like to feel important. Those who are not doing anything with their lives love to feel important. Even children love to feel important. You can do things that will show to them you love, you care, you value your relationship with them. We spoke about celebrations the last time. I think this is about 3 weeks ago. We spoke about celebrations the last time. And I want to thank God. A lot of the women sent me messages. Some even called to tell me their husbands are doing very well. Their husbands are giving them gifts. Their husbands are wishing them happy birthday. Their husbands are celebrating them. Please, shall we give a shout to the husbands? My darling, please continue. And there's some pictures I'll show to you. Those of you who want us to mention your husband's name or your wife's name and thank them, please send us messages. You want us to appreciate your wife for what she did on your birthday. You want us to appreciate your husband for what he did during your wedding anniversary. Please send us messages, and their names will be mentioned on the show, and we will appreciate them. Please, shall we watch the pictures? Shall we watch the pictures? Shall we watch the pictures? I hope. Pa, I told you, please. They are on. We can see it here. We can see it here. Oh, I see. I hear the viewers are watching it. Please, what you are seeing, let's show everything. What you are seeing on the screen is from one husband, Pastor Alfred Hansen. Shall we give him a shout? Yes. So this is Pastor Alfred Hansen showing love to his wife. What he actually did was that he ordered food from a restaurant, cooked some himself. Shall we see all the pictures? And set up a candlelight dinner for his wife. Shall we go on with the pictures? The video is on the screen. It happened at home during the lockdown. He really wanted to appreciate, please, can you see it? Candlelight dinner. With cutlery, with glasses. Set up the dinner for the wife with a menu card for the wife to read and select the food she actually wanted. And I hope all husbands are watching. I hope you are watching. All husbands. My son-in-law, Nicholas, you are in trouble today. I hope you are watching. Please, put candles. I see 3 candles here, or 4. Put cutlery by 8. Appetizer. If you don't have appetizer, come. I will give you grapetizer. So, Pastor Alfred Hansen, God bless you. You are making my work very easy. So, husbands, wives, you can send us messages, you can send us pictures, and we will show it to appreciate you and to say thank you on behalf of your wife and on behalf of your husband. So when I spoke about celebrations, I said a gift on your spouse's special day is good. A surprise party will be appreciated. A romantic dinner or lunch out or at home. And this is what Pastor Alfred did. A romantic dinner at home, just for 2, is welcome. A massage, full body massage. We are showing how you can appreciate your spouse, how you can make your partner feel important. A full body massage will be good. A foot or feet, head, and shoulders rub will also be appreciated. It makes the person feel important and makes the relationship romantic. My darling, this is not difficult at all. This is what my husband and I do, or my husband does for me. In the evenings, when we are watching CNN, I will put my legs on his lap. We are watching CNN. I will put my legs on his lap, and he will take massage oil and massage my feet. My darling, it's so soothing, and it makes me sleep very well. It makes me feel very special. It doesn't only make me feel very special, but it also makes him feel special in my life. I realize I can't do without him. Honey, thank you for massaging my feet night after night. This evening too, I'll be expecting another one. Honey, thank you so much. You make marriage so interesting. You make marriage enjoyable. You make me the envy among women. Thank you, and God bless you. I hope some husband is listening. Closing the zip or the necklace of your wife is also so good. If you're a man, learn to do this. If you don't know how to close the zip of your wife's dress, please, Sunday, come and give my husband an offering. Let him teach you how to do it. He's an expert in it. Listen, he has PhD in it. My daughters will try, they'll spoil my zip. When my husband touches it, he doesn't spoil it. When he's not around, I make sure that I don't wear a dress with a zip. so that my daughters will spoil it for me. So please, learn how to do it. Women, don't also get yourself so busy that you don't notice your husband. You need to also notice your husband. Oh, honey, I think you need a haircut. I think that your shirt will go very well with brown shoes. When you do it that way, then your husband also feels it, that you are noticing him. All these things promote friendship. If you want your spouse to do something for you, please add please. Wives, you want your husband to do something for you, say please. When it is done, say thank you. Husbands, you want your wife to do something for you, say, honey, please, can I get a cup of coffee? Can I get a cup of tea with some scones? I feel like eating some scones. When it is done, say a thank you. Be gentle and patient with each other. Number six, affirm one another every day. Affirm one another every day. Give affirmation. Tell your spouse you love him. Tell your spouse you love her. It is very, very important. Finish all your phone calls with I love you, honey. And then your spouse will also reply, I love you too. As you say it, my darling, what you are actually doing is that you are confessing it. And what you confess is what will happen. So as you confess it and you confess it and you confess it, even if the love is gone, even if the love has vanished, even if the love has gone to the Dodowa forest, as you say it, so shall it be. So affirm each other. As many times as you can, say, I love you. And I know my husband is watching me. And I say, honey, I love you. I love you like sugar cane. And I can hear him telling me, I love you too. My darling, give them assurances that you won't leave them for anybody. I see men telling me their wives are very jealous. Your wife is jealous because she doesn't hear you say, I love you. Number two, she never gets the assurance that there is no way you will leave her for somebody else. If you assure her daily that until death will separate you, my darling, it doesn't matter where you go, how many hours, how many days, how many weeks, even how many years, she will be relaxed. My husband traveled to the Netherlands for 2 years. 2 years. In those days, there were no WhatsApp. There were no Facebook. There were no video calls. Sending messages. There were no sending messages through phone. There were no sending nothing or nothing. All we had to do was write letters. When you write a letter, when he writes a letter, it will take about 2 to 3 weeks for me to read it. And remember, when I read it, I can't reply that same day. It takes me another 2 days to reply. When I reply and I also send it, it takes another 2 to 3 weeks. So in other words, it takes about 6 weeks to hear from each other. I remember the first time he got money and called me. I was at the bank. I had missed him so much. Immediately I took the phone. I said, honey, honey, honey. I said, honey, honey, honey. I cried that his money got finished. He couldn't tell me anything. Honey, honey. My darling, if you were born now, thank God. If you are married now, thank God. Now you can have WhatsApp within a second. Is there anything lower than a second? Within a second, you get the message. Within a second, there's a reply. Hey, you can video talk. Oh my God. You can video chat. I see you, you see me. Oh. My darling, give assurances that you won't leave them for anybody. Give praise on their strength. Give praise on their strength. And what I have noticed, if you are used to giving praise all the time on their strength, honey, you are beautiful. Honey, your food was nice. I love your food. I enjoy having sex with you. Oh, you are the best thing that happened to me. My darling, when you do this all the time, the day you have to complain about something negative, they don't get angry. Your husband is always angry. Your wife is always angry. Because as for you, you never see anything positive. You never see anything positive. You are always saying negative things. The food has too much salt. Tomorrow, it has too much oil. The third day, it had too much pepper. The fourth day, the stew was burnt. The fifth day, too much garlic. The sixth day, the soup was too thick. It's always complaints. When you came home and she had tidied up the house so nicely, did you say thank you? When you came home and she had taken care of the children, bathed them, supervised their homework, put them to bed, did you say a thank you? When your husband was coming from the trip and bought you the tomatoes, did you say thank you? Oh, what kind of tomatoes is this? But this one is rotten. If I had gone, I would have bought some better tomatoes. Next time, he won't buy it at all. You won't even get it. My darling, learn to affirm each other. Tell them when they are looking handsome, say it. I handled the case a couple of months ago, some months ago. The lady said, Mama Rita, my husband has never told me I'm beautiful. So anytime the husband comes home late, the only thing she's thinking about is that the husband went to another lady. I believe if the husband is affirming her, whether you go for hours, what, she'll be relaxed. I hope somebody listening to me. Celebrate your husband or your partner or your wife's accomplishments. Celebrate the accomplishments. When you met her, she didn't have a degree. Today she has a degree. Celebrate it. When you met him, he only had the first degree. Today he has a second degree. My darling, celebrate it. When you got married, he didn't even have a bicycle tie. Today, he's been able to buy a fourth-hand car. It is something. Celebrate him. Somebody who can buy a fourth-hand car can buy a brand new car. It's just a matter of time. When you met him, he was an ordinary member. Today, he's a deacon. When people's husbands are being pastors. When people's husbands are being pastors. And they are carrying the bags of their wives. And they are serving them water. And they are giving them special seats. You, it is only deacon you could be, my darling. They won't hold your bag today. They won't hold it tomorrow. They won't leave a seat for you in church. I saw Reverend Agre when Reverend Agre came into this church. Reverend Agre was an ordinary member. Then Reverend Agre was promoted to be a deacon. Reverend Agre worked so hard. He was promoted to being a minister. Reverend Agre worked hard, was promoted to be a pastor. Reverend Agre worked hard. He was made a reverend minister. Hey! Charlie, Reverend Agre just entered. I'm a prophetess. Oh, Reverend Agre, you have to give me a tithe. You were listening. When I finish, we'll talk about electricals at Shiloh. My darling, today, when we talk about one of our gurus, our great and powerful man of God, Reverend Agre is mentioned. Meanwhile, when Lady Deacon Amma Agre married Reverend Agre, Reverend Agre was when they met, he wasn't even born again. Not even born again. Today, Amma Agre is only a deacon. The husband is a reverend minister. Week of the altar speaker. Family life coach. Men makers president. Life chairman of royal ladies. Nobody will take that position from him. My darling, a man like this needs to be celebrated. He needs to be celebrated. People don't understand why I celebrate my husband and I honor my husband. When I met my husband, he was Brother Ankara. He was Brola. He wasn't a pastor. He was Brola. Then along the line, he became a pastor. Then he was ordained. He became a reverend minister. Today, he's Apostle General. He sits in council with presidents and great men and great women. My darling, a man like this must be, give me the word, must be celebrated, must be honored. Is somebody listening to me? Must be affirmed. Every day he ministers and I sit down, I realize that the guy is not the same guy I knew yesterday. Every time he ministers, his preaching is better. His revelations are better. So, if from where you met your husband, there has been an improvement, and you don't affirm him, my darling, there are other young ladies out there who affirm him for you. And if you are a gentleman, and your wife has added value to herself, she speaks better English, she dresses better than you met her. Correct combination, like Mama Rita. You now, when you go out with her and you introduce her as this is my wife, you feel something, you feel proud. My darling, honor her. Let's celebrate one another. Let's affirm one another. Be your partner's number one cheerleader. I am my husband's number one cheerleader. When he ministers, and he ministers well, I go to the altar to sow. I say, preach on, you are blessing me. I make notes. I celebrate him when he's done. He has also stood by me and supported me with my Royal Ladies and my Family Life series. Week after week, he's listening. When I get back, my number one teacher, my number one coach, he will say, this one, you should have said it, you didn't say it. This one, you should have said it this way. Always trying to make me a better person. Stop complaining about him all the time. Words are spirits. Stop nagging all the time. My darling, words are spirits. Stop reporting him to your friends and your relatives all the time. Stop reporting her to your friends and relatives all the time. As long as you affirm him, you affirm her. As long as you say good things about him, as long as you say good things about her, trust me, the person you married 5 years ago will never be the same. The person you married 10 years ago will never be the same. The person you married 20 years ago will never be the same. Because as human beings, we enjoy affirmation. And he knows it and she knows it. That if she does the good thing, you affirm. Every time he would want to improve. Even God loves affirmation. When we go to God and we say, God, you are great. God, you are mighty. God, you are all in all. God, without you, I am nothing. Thank you, God, for what you did for me yesterday. Thank you for the healing you gave to me. My darling, because God knows it, that if he does it for you, you would appreciate him. You would affirm him. You will give him affirmation. Trust me, even when you haven't asked, he will do it for you. But if all you know is to complain, and God, you didn't do this, and you haven't given me a husband, and you haven't given me a wife, and I asked for a 4-bedroom house, and I asked for a tall, fair-colored man, and all the men who are coming are short and dark. My darling, he won't move you to the next stage. And I hope somebody is listening. We will break. We will come back with a couple. I hope you heard me. I said a couple. You will see the couple. Shall we have a short break, and we will come back to the studio with my couple, and you can ask all the questions that you need to ask. Friendship is one of the greatest gifts God gave to us. But a true friend will forever love you. And they are there to help when trouble comes. How do you build friendship? Establish a time each week to spend quality time together. Communication in every relationship is vital to the success of it. The more you communicate with each other, the more you get to know each other better. If you are married and you've never sent your husband a note, and you've never sent your wife a note, it means that you are coming from far away. Don't only send messages when you need something. It is a sin to leave home in the morning and never call each other until you get home late in the evening. Somebody says punch. I am punching. Explore the interests of your spouse and what they are passionate in, and join them in it. My husband is going to play golf. What I do is, maybe if he's playing golf 3 times within the trip, at least I'll choose a day or 2 and then follow him to the golf course. I am the driver and he plays. And sometimes I try to play small. And normally when he's going to play, I dress up more than the golf players themselves. When I see that he's watching, and then I take the stick. Me too, I don't know how to play. And then I go like this. And then I push myself. And then I hold the golf stick. And
When we were introduced, at the time, I was already in a relationship. He was also in a relationship.
I remember.
So we went into campus ministry not because we wanted to be with each other, but because I just loved Royal House Chapel, and he also loved the things of God. He was working for God, and that God was introducing me to a church that would help me to exhibit my talents as well, only for him to put us together as husband and wife.
Wow. How have you been able to build your friendship up?
You must make a conscious effort, because like you said in your presentation, work, schooling, ministry, or 1 or 2 things can take the friendship out of the marriage. So for both of us, we have been very intentional about it. And like you said, it is the friendship that keeps the marriage going. It is not the sex, it is not the romance.
The little things like bathing together.
And I'm not here alone. I'm here with my delicioso muchacho.
One of the things that I would say encouraged us to continue talking was that we saw the relationship more than just now, but then we saw ahead of ourselves that if we are able to put these things together, we can be a wonderful couple in future.
Welcome back to Family Life with Mama Rita. We have been looking at building your friendship in a relationship, building your friendship during courtship, and building your friendship during within the marriage. And if you are just listening to us, I said I appreciate my husband for the friendship he has with me. He makes marriage so enjoyable. He makes marriage so interesting. He makes me the envy among women. And if you are watching, wherever you are watching, I want you to give my husband a shout. Woo! And in the beginning, I said I want to honor a special daughter of mine, Christine Asabia Amatefio in team, and my son-in-law, Nicholas. Hey, I said in team. Can you imagine? We left in team long time ago. Nicholas Amatefio Tete or Tete Amatefio, whichever. And today is their 13th wedding anniversary, and I want to give them a shout. And I say congratulations to all of you. My daughter has started doing nose marks with Royal House branded. My darling, there's nothing like Royal House Chapel branded. Everything of ours comes with a miracle. Everything is token for us. Our, what do we have? Our scarves are a token. AG is 60, people are getting miracles. Royal Ladies Cloth, people are getting miracles. WMG t-shirts, people are getting miracles. Our wristband has even been registered in heaven. People get sick, go into coma, and they get to heaven and their wristband is noticed. Our chains are noticed in heaven. Royal Ladies t-shirts, our caps, everything. The latest one is Royal House branded nose marks. From Sunday, we'll be selling them here. My darling, if coronavirus passes in front of your nose, the nose marks will hit it like this, a palm. It will move to the one without nose marks. So, we'll move to the one with not Royal House Chapel branded nose marks. From Sunday, we'll be selling it. God bless you. Last week, I had 2 young couples. They did so well. I mean, so well. And I'm telling Reverend Agri, if we don't sit up, these young people will take the job from us. They did so well. I had people calling me, that Mama Rita, when I'm getting married, I want these 2 couples to do my counseling. And today, because the studio is small, I couldn't have all 2 couples. I've had one, and another time I will have another one. In the studio today is Reverend and Mrs. Not Pastor. Lady Deacon, I want you to know that your husband has been promoted. When you got married, he was ordinary. He wasn't even a deacon. He was brother attached to his name. Today, he is Reverend Davidoku. So in the studio today is Reverend and Lady Deacon Davidoku.
Thank you, Mommy.
Lady Deacon Nana Biama also entered into this church as an ordinary person, was actually crawling and teething. Today, she's the deputy or assistant chief usher of Royal House Chapel. My darling, it's not a small post though. Work hard, and you too. We are doing family business here. When the husband is promoted, the wife is also promoted. We do family business. Even our children get promoted. And she's also the head of protocol. Royal Ladies.
International.
International. Not small position. When people like Mama Faith and Mama Naomi and all the gurus come, she is the one that takes care of them. She determines which protocol must be attached. If I were you, I'll come and give her a gift.
She's a big woman. She's a big woman.
She's a big woman. Reverend and Mrs. Doku, I invite you into the studio.
Thank you very much.
Last week, you did so well that people personally called me, including my daughter, Mawena Joshua, Mawena Kranchiakra, who is only 19, telling me that when she's getting married, the two of you will be counselors. My darling, your promotion has gone high. You are a star now. You are celebrities. To counsel a daughter of Apostle General is not a small position. My darling, what has brought you this far? We are talking about friendship in relationship.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to the question time. I'm sure people are ready with their questions.
That's right. Thank you very much, Mommy, for the question. And we give glory to God how far He's brought us. And I think for us, the God factor and the fact that I found her in Christ is very fundamental. It's the very bedrock of our relationship and our marriage, because we find ourselves in Christ, we find ourselves in ministry, and we both understand each other. And the friendship bit is so profound in this marriage. And we've been last week I said we'll be very intentional about us staying as friends in the marriage, because you have to be one, you must be there for one another. And I think being there for one another has really helped us. She's been a great support to me in ministry, and it's just amazing that we've been looking out for each other, praying for each other, very, very important, loving each other and seeing each other as a brother and a sister and working it out together. I think that is what has really brought us this far, that understanding bit and the friendship, true friendship, loving each other and seeing one another as a partner. And like you said in your presentation, you need to see yourself as partners, not as a servant-master relationship, equals, two equals. And I have enjoyed that partnership for my wife, the peace of mind, the love, the care, the sisterly love. And I must say, she's been a blessing to me. Wow. And she's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Now, because your wife is here, you are saying she's the best thing that happened to you. When you speak to me on phone and you send me messages, you tell me, Mama Rita, you are the best thing that... It is allowed. It is allowed. Lady Deacon, yes. I know there are a lot of young couples listening to you, and to-be couples listening to you. Tell them something about how they can build their relationship. I have spoken, but I believe that coming from the angle of a young couple or a young wife, there are young ones that might listen to you. They might think that, oh, I have a perfect marriage because I am Mama Rita and my husband is Apostle General, and because we've come a long way. But you are 10 years in marriage, you still have very young children. What have you done, and how have you been able to come this far?
Thank you, Mommy. For us, my lovely husband, apart from the prayer bits, like you said in your presentation, communication has been the...
Surprising, I'll be going to the prayer bits next week.
Wow. Wow.
Communication has been the bedrock of our relationship. If you take prayer, put prayer aside. Now, communication in our lives is anything and everything. We talk about every single thing. The least you can think about, even an advert on television, we talk about it, we discuss it. We don't leave anything to chance. We don't assume that each other is like, would I say, a robot. Okay. To be able to read in between the lines, or to be able to just look at each other and say that this is what my wife is going through, this is what my husband is going through. If I am upset about something, I talk about it.
That's right.
If he's not happy about something, he talks about it. If he's happy about something, he talks about it. If I am happy about something, I talk about it. We can't talk till the next day.
Wow.
If we are not done with discussing whatever it is we are discussing, we sit down and we talk. And we also have quality time, which is very, very important. These days, we have a lot of things that take our attention. And if you are not careful, you will end up being overwhelmed with life, and you wouldn't have quality time together. When I say quality time, you may not have the finances to say you are going for a weekend outside, which is very good.
Please don't preach my message next week. Go ahead.
It is good to go for the weekend. We sometimes have couples retreat with other couples. We go on a weekend, we discuss marriage, sex, children, etc. But between the two of us, we create movie time for ourselves.
Wow.
If it means we'll put the children to bed as late as 10 p.m. and then we'll sit till 1 a.m. to watch a movie, we do it. Because once it's 6 a.m., life starts all over again. So if you have to let go some sleep, so you can have a me time together, we try to do that just to keep the relationship. And out of that, whilst you're watching the movie, discussions will come up. We'll have a flashback of what happened right on campus or what happened some years back. And that it's made us what we are today, if I should say. It's really, really enriched our friendship, and today we can still say that we are friends.
God bless you. We'll be going to our co-host, but before we go to our co-host, I have 3 wonderful books here written by the Apostle General himself. The Rising of the Sun. The Rising of the Sun. I can't believe it. I read this book myself. I know every story about this book, but I read it and my life was never the same. My name is mentioned in this book, but as I read it with, I don't know, I felt something else. If you don't have this book, get it. The Rising of the Sun. It says everything about the Apostle General, from his birth and from where he is now. So from where God picked him and from where God has brought him so far. And then we have also this book from the Apostle General, This Kind of Woman. This Kind of Woman. If you want to know the kind of wife you must have, please buy this book. And if you want to know the kind of woman you must be, please buy this book. This Kind of Woman. Powerful book. And then the last book I have here is Living in the Supernatural. Living in the Supernatural. So many dreams and revelations have been explained and broken down for us in this book, Living in the Supernatural. Please, you can get all these books from Amazon, from Barnes and Noble, from our bookshop here. I mean, it's everywhere. So please, your wife will be celebrating the birthday. You don't know what you should buy for him. Please, get her This Kind of Woman. This Kind of Woman. You've been wondering why the husband of Mama Rita has succeeded so much. Please buy this book, The Rising of the Sun. And then you want to learn more about spiritual things, living in the supernatural. God bless you. Our co-host, who was on with his wife last week, and I've told him, if he does Fifi,
peace offering is coming.
Fifi, somebody didn't hear me. If he does Fifi, I will retire him and his wife will come. But so far, he's doing so well. And shall we give it up to my co-host?
Thank you very much, Mommy. Very, very grateful for the compliments. And it's been an amazing time joining you through Family Life series all this while. Well, we have a lot of questions and comments coming through our various social media platforms. We are live, Powerline TV, on Facebook, Sam Crunchy Ankara, and also in your houses through your digiboxes on Powerline TV multi-choice. Well, we'll go straight. This is coming from Ellen Quartin. And Ellen says, Mommy, thanks very much for organizing this program. In fact, we are learning a lot of things, and you are spicing our family lives. God richly bless you.
Amen.
This is Ellen Quartin. Our first question says, good evening, Mama Rita. I am in a relationship with a man who never compliments me, but he will compliment other ladies even when I am around. What can I do about this situation? Please help me, Mommy.
Reverend David.
Yep. First and foremost, she needs to open up to the man and really let him know how she feels. Probably, maybe he hasn't taken notice that this thing is hurting the lady. So they need to have an open conversation about it. And I think the man is not doing himself. He's doing himself a lot of disfavor because, like you said in your presentation, not affirming her, not complimenting her makes her feel she's less inferior to other ladies. And so when you are even out there, there's always this tension and this insecurity. So the lady must have a tete-a-tete chat with the man. Say, listen, this is how I am feeling. And so there has to be a lot of open discussion and open communication about this one. And I'm sure that if she's able to have that one-on-one conversation with her, it could turn things around. And the teachings that we are also doing, because by adventure, he might not be aware that this is what the lady is going through.
You want to add to it, Lady?
Yes. And the reason why you need to have the tete-a-tete with your partner is we have this culture in Africa that makes men feel that if they compliment women a lot of the time, it will make them swollen-headed. And then it will cause them to misbehave sometimes. So it could be that he came from a background where that compliment was not done often, or he's developed that character thinking that it is wrong to compliment your partner. And so he wants to put you in shape so that you don't sway. So he won't compliment more so that you'll be swollen-headed. So you need to have a tete-a-tete and then discuss some of these things, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
God bless you. So if you are listening to me, what you can do is that either you make your husband watch this program if he's by you. If he's not by you, get him to watch it on YouTube, Sam Crunchy Ankra, or Facebook, Sam Crunchy Ankra. Sometimes, like they are saying, it might be that he doesn't know. If he listens to it, I believe the Holy Ghost will minister to him.
Thank you very much for those wonderful advice. I have this question here, but before Mommy, I remember some few years back, I think my first year university, I had come back from the house. The events live online, so I don't know how to go back.
That's right.
But I'll find out what message he had.
That's right.
Suddenly, the atmosphere changed in the house.
Wow.
Well, we the children felt very uncomfortable. But so this question is quite interesting. I don't know how Mommy will handle this. He says, I recently went out with my girlfriend to buy food. I bought wache 2 cedis, Gary 50 pesos, Wele 50. I asked for the hard one. Mommy, help me. And then I said, Madam, a little counsel. Listeners, forgive me. Immediately, my girlfriend got angry and she left the place. Should I continue? Listeners, I'm sorry. Mommy, please. Over to you. He's asking, should he continue with this relationship?
Your partner is such an interesting guy. I would love to date such
I don't know whether it's the Wele that got angry or the council.
I would date such a partner over and over and over again. Why? Because he's very humorous. I mean, to walk to a watch stand and say, well, 50, and even say you want the hard one, and ask for cancel, I'm sure the girlfriend had dressed up nicely, following the guy, thinking that, oh, the guy will go and say,
it was a birthday date.
So I don't see anything wrong with it. One, you should know your partner's temperament.
That's right.
This tells he's a typical sanguine. They always want to make fun out of everything. And so he would want to create humor wherever he is. I don't think he's a bush guy, but there are some guys who are just funny. And so every instance, they want to create humor. So I think the lady should laugh off it. And if she feels embarrassed, she can talk to the guy to tone down.
To put you on the spot, can you explain to our international viewers what is Wele and Kanzo? If you can help our...
So for those watching us online and outside Ghana, Wele is from the hard part of
the skin of the cow.
The hide of the cow. Thank you, Reverend King. The hide of the cow. And we have soft and we have hard. Now, the hard makes noise whilst you chew. So for all you know, for this guy, he wanted...
And Abiyama, you've been buying some from the West.
I love watching. So all you know what the guy is talking about. For all you know, he wanted a particular sound from the hide of the
romantic sound.
Exactly. And out of the sound, like Pastor Chivape would do, he will create a poem out of it for the girl. And then maybe pop up a ring or propose. You may never know.
So the question is, who is asking the question? Is it the lady or the gentleman?
No, the gentleman.
Oh, okay.
The lady got angry and left. So he wants to find out, should he continue with this kind of relationship?
Yes, you should continue.
Good.
Continue with the relationship. Go back to the lady and then first of all apologize. Because once
what
she
is
left,
there to apologize?
No, apologize for probably not letting the lady know ahead of time that this is me. I am a very humorous guy. I am a sanguine. You need to talk about each other's temperaments when you start dating or when you meet. Some people...
Sorry, you are assuming he was trying to be funny. But maybe this is a serious...
This is serious. That's what he likes. He wasn't being funny. That's what he likes.
Mommy, once if you're a sanguine, you do things without sometimes thinking about it. That's you. That's your temperament. Okay. So he was serious buying the hard willy. He wanted the kanzo. That is him. You
That's
understand?
What he likes.
That's what he likes. So the lady should find out who this guy, who is he?
In my house, they fight over a muasi.
So you see?
A muasi, the jollof under. The bent one.
That's the kanzo.
The kanzo.
That's the, everybody
nice.
likes it.
Yes. A little bit of that and then the original jollof, it solves the problem. Without it, it's like you're in a restaurant eating jollof. But once you're at home, the council must be part of the food. So find out who this guy is. You may be dating, but you really don't know who this guy is. You don't know his temperament. You don't know he's a typical sanguine. And for sanguines, they want to create humor wherever they go. And everything they do, they want it to be funny for the other person. Once you accept that this is the person, this is him, everything he says, you create humor out of it. You laugh as well. You shed off some stress from yourself as well. And then you move on. If you think he's overstepping boundaries, and so he comes out embarrassing a bit, you can talk about it so that you place a bit of limit to his.
So, Reverend David, now we are looking at the man.
Yeah.
What should the man do? Because he's seeing this as a red flag.
Okay.
But this is not a red flag. The lady might be coming from a Dadabi home.
That's right.
And has never heard counsel and had wele and feels embarrassed.
That's right.
So you will now have to let her understand
That's right.
that this is actually what you like.
That's right.
You like the hard wele.
That's right.
The one that makes noise when you are chewing.
Exactly.
And the counsel, the under the bent one.
That's right.
It's a delicacy.
That's right.
So the smell alone.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, the smell
the
too.
The smell from the council alone. It's heavenly.
I'll buy some tomorrow.
So for this guy, it is also it's good this thing has happened. Good. Because then he needs to know the reaction of the partner, in a sense that they are getting to know each other. So he will also get to know the temperament of this lady who likes everything, or everything in a very organized way. Even the joint where they're even buying the wache, the environment of the wache alone, You know, so
you
it's
must buy eggs and
that's right.
meat
That's
and
right.
chicken,
And chicken and fish
not wele
and
and hard
kilewele.
wele.
Exactly. So they are getting to know each other.
That's right.
So it's good this thing has happened from the beginning. And as friends, you need to know what your partner likes. So that sometimes you can have this, you know, out of the blue experiences, walking to the park, get some ice cream somewhere, you know, and so on and so forth. So it's good this thing is happening for them to get to know each other very, very well. But for me, it is not seriously a red flag. I mean, if they talk about it, it will go well.
So I think this is part of the friendship.
That's right.
It's part of building the friendship.
That's right.
So we are saying the lady should be patient enough, know the man, and know that this might be him.
That's right.
He makes humor out of everything.
Exactly.
And the lady might also be the, you know, that you know, you don't go buying kanzo and wele, and so it's good you know each other.
That's right.
So then you meet each other halfway.
And even Mama Rita, like parallel or unlike posts attract
That's
each
right.
other.
That's right.
You find a man who all his life has had things very rosy.
That's right.
You find a woman who is coming from a very down to earth. It's a beautiful scene.
That's right.
You know, I like to eat my fufu in Asanka, and I like it that way.
Wow.
I mean, it makes me enjoy my students' day. So
Wow.
once in a while, my wife has a special Asanka for me.
Wow.
So once in a while, the fufu is put in there, and I enjoy it. It's so beautiful.
Wow.
She knows that's how I like
I can
it.
imagine a senka on the dining table.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll do some for my husband on Saturday.
Interesting responses. Well, listener, viewer, you have your answers there. You should be grateful. He didn't even ask for wacheba. Well, Mommy, this question goes. God bless you, Mama Rita. I'm watching you live from Kumasi.
Wow.
I would like to find out something that is bothering me. Should your partner tell you something such as an incident where the father had abused her, and then he says too, in the instance where she tells you this, how do you cope so you do not disrespect or how do you cope so you can still respect and love your father-in-law? Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of such questions came up last week. And what I want to do is, I want to prepare a whole message. Just like I said, I will handle communication in marriage. I want to also handle secrets in a relationship. At what point do you release secrets? And which secret comes first, which one comes second? If you have 10 boyfriends or you had 10 boyfriends, do you mention all at a go? At what point do you say this? You have a child. At what point do you say this? Maybe after this, if I'm done with this series, this is going to be my next topic. I know when I spoke about secrets in relationship and all that, some people didn't really get it well. Don't worry, I'll come to it. We'll treat it as a whole topic, and you will know when you have to talk about if your fiancé was abused by the father, what do you do? How do you handle it? What should be the relationship between you and your father-in-law to be? We will talk about all these things. So maybe it might be, if the Holy Ghost doesn't direct me otherwise, it's going to be my next topic after I am done with relationship in marriage and courtship.
All right, thank you. Well, you can join the conversation with the hashtag Family Life on all platforms, hashtag Family Life. Keep your questions coming in through +233 200 515253. We'll go straight to the next question. This one says, good evening, Mommy. Please, is it advisable to talk about sex in a relationship, and to what extent should it go? Thank you.
It's very, very important. This is very, very important, and it forms a bedrock of trust in the relationship and even in the marriage. You need to talk about it, set boundaries for yourself. What can we do? What can we do? Where can we go? Where can't we go? And you must set these boundaries right from the onset of the relationship. That is, if you don't want to hurt the fabric of trust in the relationship. For myself and my wife, dating, it was quite a challenge. Because here you have this very beautiful lady. You look at her and you are imagining things. And let's be realistic. So long as you are in love with that person, there will be this emotional attraction that is always going to be there. Young people, don't lie to yourself. Don't say you are going to start praying about it. No, it is going to happen. Once you've seen her and you propose to her and she has accepted it, there will be definitely some chemistry. But what you do is, that is why we are teaching you. Let's discuss about it, talk about it. When you feel that emotions, you are holding hands together, and you realize that, hey, you are feeling warm at each other. Something should prompt you that, hey, listen, this is where we can go. We cannot meet in dark places. We cannot be in the room alone. If you visit me, let's sit at the hall, because I know myself. I want to touch. I'm somebody that likes touching. So right from the onset, we set the rules for ourselves. If we are going to touch, it's going to be in the open, holding hands together in the open. If I'm going to hug you tight, it should be in the open. It should be in church. And that's why you should thank God you have a church like Royal House Chapel. You say to one another, you are looking beautiful. You pass comments, hold each other, give somebody high five. All these things you are building up. But then you must know the limits where you can do these things. And so talk about it, be open about it, and I'm sure that you have a very fruitful relationship.
So like my lovely husband said.
Today, you are targeting my pocket too.
She's targeting your pocket.
She's targeting some
I'm
dollars.
learning from the best, so I need to put it in practice. It is very, very, very important to talk about sex, both before and then during marriage. He's talked about before marriage. Let me talk about during marriage. Even within the marriage, you still need to have discussions about sex.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think your partner is satisfied, but for all you know, he or she is not satisfied. You need to talk about places to touch. You need to talk about, for us, we even say thank you to each other after sex. So that's all part of the talking about sex. It shouldn't be a moment of truth, then it's done. Then that's it. That's the end of the matter. Then the next time you are at it, that's a new chapter altogether. No. You can even pass comments about previous ones you have had and how you felt, etc. And all these things build up the friendship in the marriage as well. So sex is something that you cannot take out of the relationship even before or during or even after, unless you are dead. But once you are together, you have blood flowing through you, sex is a topic to talk about.
It's very good. So what we are saying is sex is very important. In other words, it's important to talk about it and during courtship and during marriage. But then during courtship, you must know your boundaries. You don't say anything dirty. You don't talk about styles. Because there are some things when you talk about during the courtship stages, certainly, like Reverend David is saying, because you are not locks and you are human beings and you are actually in love, you don't hate each other. The feelings for each other will be there. The feelings to have sex will be there. So you can talk about what to expect. You can talk about you not having sex during courtship. You can talk about you keeping yourself holy. You can talk about helping each other. Sometimes we think that it is only the men who do the request during courtship, but sometimes the women also tempt the men. So the man can tell the woman, anytime I ask for it, help me by saying no. The woman can also tell the man, anytime I ask for it, help me by saying no. Let's help each other and keep our relationship pure until the wedding day. So you talk about it, but don't talk about anything provocative. Don't talk about anything that is tempting. Don't talk about anything that is dirty. Don't talk about things that would tempt you to want to go to bed with each other. So talk about helping each other, talk about staying pure, talk about no sex, talk about closing each other's zips and each other's legs. I mean, these are things to talk about. And then when you marry, that is why in Royal House Chapel, when it comes to sex in marriage, I mean the topic sex in marriage, it's one of the very last topics we talk about. We do it the last week so that both of them will not be tempted to go and try and taste and rehearse. You rehearse in the marriage. So please don't be in a hurry. Keep yourself pure. Allow God to bless you. See yourself as a man of God and as a woman of God. See yourself as sitting in our seats tomorrow.
Yeah.
You must have a testimony. Yes. Once you know you have a testimony and you must have a testimony, it keeps you. So there's a limit to what you can say. Don't go overboard. I hope I answered your question.
All right, thank you very much, Mommy. We have several questions, over
wow.
50. And
over 50?
Over 50 questions.
Wow.
We'll just take one or two more, and then I'm sure Mommy will find another occasion to address all your questions. Wow. Well, don't go overboard in your discussions about sex, especially my ROSA students.
Please tell them.
Don't go discussing reproduction in humans when you are a business student. Huh? Mommy, this one says, good evening. I'm from Chicago. I hope this is Chicago in the U.S.
Not in Kaswa.
In Ghana, there are all kinds of cities.
I see.
You even have Russia.
We have Chicago in Kaswa.
Wow. Chicago in Kaswa. Well, I believe this is from the U.S. because the English...
Zenu, New York.
Zenu, New York. Yet you don't have passport. I'm from Chicago. We are being blessed watching you. You look amazing, and I thank God for this program. Please,
thank you.
My husband is a tow truck driver, and anytime he comes home, he is very tired. I also come home late from work after an afternoon shift, so we barely talk because he immediately falls asleep as soon as he gets back. We hardly have extramarital activities. What do I do? Please help me, Mommy.
Okay, I always teach that just like we have a menu for the home, you decide, most wives do that, they paste it in the kitchen, that every Monday is wache and kazo and wele, every Tuesday is fufu and light soup, every Wednesday is bankun, every Thursday is omotuo, you know. It's the same way I teach people. We get so busy. I mean, trust me, we get so busy. We get so busy, work, like you are saying, looking at your husband's work, looking at your work, shows that both of you are very busy people. But then you certainly have off days. There's no worker who doesn't have an off day. Everybody has an off day, either twice in a week or once in a week. Either you go off Saturday and Sunday, or you work weekends, and then during the week you have one day off, or every 2 weeks you have 2 weeks off. So what you do is you can set yourself a timetable that if every Saturday we are off, every Saturday we must worship, every Saturday we must perform. If Sunday works out for you, every Sunday you do it. I'm not saying that once there's the timetable that every Saturday we are doing it, or every Sunday we are doing it. If Wednesday we want to do it, we can't. It's allowed. But the thing is, it guides you. Because people get so busy. I see marriages that are just 2 years, 5 years in marriage, and they are having sex once a month. My darling, if in your 20s, you are having sex once a month, then when you get to my age, you'll be having sex once every 10 years. And I want you to know that Sex is also very important in the marriage. You can check, but legally, if for 2 years your husband hasn't had sex with you, or you haven't had sex with your husband for 2 years, you can go to court and say, we haven't had sex for 2 years, so we want a divorce. And not having sex for 2 years amounts to a divorce. So sex is part of building your relationship up. So have a timetable and say, yes, my husband is busy, my wife is busy, we both come home very tired. And when we are tired, we don't enjoy each other anyway. But at least our timetable says that every Saturday, so it doesn't matter what you do, because Saturday is your off day or Sunday is your off day, every Sunday you must do it by all means. So I always teach young couples, please do it. I'm telling you, if you don't enjoy it now, you get to 70 and you will look back and you will say, had I known. By 70, you won't have the strength to do it anymore. By 80, both of you, like Abraham, the Bible said they didn't even. Please have a timetable once a week at least for a young couple, for people in your 20s, people in your 30s. It can be once a week. When you get to 40 and 50, then it can be once every 2 weeks or once every month. It is okay. If your husband is in his 40s and he's having issues, please seek medical attention. I get people sending me messages all the time. Mommy, I'm shy to talk about it, but my husband has gone off road, and my husband is only 40, or my husband is only 45. These days, the stress people are going through now, and the kind I think I need to talk about sex in marriage. I mean, we'll talk about not the 18 plus, but the, one of these days, so that people know. Sometimes even the undies we wear, if you wear nylon undies, it gets so warm, it gets so hot that it kills the sperms. It kills the sperms, and then it kills the penis itself. So please watch what you wear. Don't wear nylon undies. Wear cotton undies. And as much as you can, if you think that your undies are also too tight, wear boxer shorts so air will flow around it. If you have an issue, please, there is nothing shyness about it. If you don't talk about it, in our language, it says that one tongue will yari. So it's good. I'm not saying that tell everybody about it, but what I'm saying is you can talk to a doctor about it. You can talk to a pharmacist about it. If you are in Royal House Chapel, please, I don't want the ladies coming alone. Come with your husband. There is nothing shyness about it. There's medication. There are things to do to make you happy in your sex life.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of things to do, and Mama Rita will be here with you every other Wednesday, this and every other Wednesday, to address your needs and answer every question on your mind.
And all the counselors, Royal House Chapel counselors, if you are listening to me, tomorrow you have a meeting with me. We have our counselors meeting tomorrow, both old counselors and new counseling. It's a training session for us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Please make a date with me. Remember, if you don't come, you are out of our counseling. You won't get couples, you won't get counselors to counsel.
Thank you for that. And earlier, Mommy spoke about boxer shorts. Very, very necessary. Mommy,
please, what do you know about boxer shorts?
Mommy, this question says, is it good for a spouse to put passwords on their phones? Mommy, talk about this one. Is it good for spouses to put passwords on their phones?
Yes, I would say yes. Between my wife and I, she knows my password. I know her password. But for our children, sometimes you don't want them to have access to your phone and then start, sending anonymous messages and so on and so forth. Because the children that we have now are very technologically inclined. But then between my wife and I, she knows my password. I can pick her phone at any time to make calls. So put the password on the phone, but share it with your spouse. Now, this one cements the trust in the relationship, the openness, the oneness. Because, listen, sometimes your phone can mess up, and you need her phone to make a call. Assuming there's a password on the phone, and you don't have it, and you need to use that call, you're going to probably miss an important information. So don't let...
What people do not know is that you can fall sick at any time.
That's right.
And there's a business partner you need to call. There's a boss you need to call. There's somebody that is bringing you 20,000 that particular morning, and then you got sick. If your wife doesn't have your password, how does she get to call your boss to say that you are sick? To say that, oh, my husband is not well. He says you can discuss the business deal with me. My husband says you can bring the money to me. I mean, what do you do?
Exactly. So you need to be very open about it. And our phones today does a lot of things.
That's right.
Sending emails, they are very important documents that are on your phone. I used to probably do things for my wife when she's going to do some presentation, put them together. Assuming she needs to send it to her boss.
That's right.
I can easily do it for her, and then the business of the day is carried out. So put the password on the phone, but share it with your spouse.
Lately, a lot of smartphones allow you to use your fingerprints to lock up the phone. And I've heard a few of excuses from people saying that, oh, I don't have the numbers, but it's my fingerprints. Even if it's your fingerprint, show your spouse or your partner the exact finger. So that...
Oh, I see.
Yes, because, yes, so if it's the middle finger, you wouldn't know until the person tells you it's my middle finger. So if the person collapses and you need to call the doctor and the doctor's number is on your partner's phone, you can never call.
Wow.
Yes. I hear some even use their foot.
Their toes.
People use their toes.
Yes, so you will never know. You will never know. So the days of using date of birth as passwords
Face
and
ID now.
telephone numbers, and so you can easily guess what the password. Now it's fingerprints. If I don't tell you it's my little finger, you will never know. If I don't tell you it's my toe, you will never know. So please, let's move away from that attitude of it's my thumbprint, and so unless I try all my fingers, I'm not sure which one I use. You know the exact you know the exact finger you use. So like he said, you need to share it with each other. For the sake of the truth, sometimes we get WhatsApp messages and then the content is not good for children. The pictures that sometimes comes on our phone from group platforms, etc. That is the reason why it's good to have passwords on your phone. But between your partner and yourself, you need to know each other's passwords.
And what people think, my children think I'm old school. But I hear that now 2 people can have 2 different thumbprints on the phone.
Wow.
So I can have my finger on it. My husband can have his finger on it. So whether you want to use a password or whether you want to use your, please share it. It is for your own good. When it comes to accounts, I have my name on all my husband's accounts.
Wow.
He has his name on all my accounts. Nobody knows who will go tomorrow.
That's right.
Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is so important.
True.
Today we have people on the streets. We have people begging on the street. And you would be surprised to know that their fathers were actually rich.
That's right.
Their fathers had bank accounts with huge sums of money.
Exactly.
They had lands at places. They had houses at places, but never told anybody.
It's true.
My darling, you are not doing anybody a favor. You are actually doing yourself, your children, and your generation a disfavor. We have seen so many things happen with phones. Please, what we are saying is that You can put a password. You can put your thumb or your toe or even your lips, whatever you want to put on. But make sure that you do a joint one, like we do joint account. Both of you can share the, you may never know, tomorrow something might happen to you and your wife will need to go through your phone and call somebody. It is so, so important now. What do you have to hide, please? Let her know your password so that for tomorrow's sake, it builds trust, it builds friendship, it builds loyalty, it builds agreement. Whew. Wow, I can't believe it's past 8:40. I will come your way again next week, same time. I am doing part 3. It's getting very, very interesting. We are doing building your friendship, building your friendship. A lot of people are married. They've been married for 20 years. They've been married for 30 years and they are not friends. Some people have their children living home, like my son Papa is married and has left home, and my daughters will also leave home. When they leave home and I'm left with my husband alone and the two of us are not friends, what happens? I have seen people, all they care about is my food ready. Where did you place my singlet? I can't find my phone. Where's my phone? And that's all they talk about. Please, we are talking about building friendship in relationship. I will come your way same time next week. You can also listen to me every Saturday, 7 p.m. on Instagram. People keep saying that I say IG. Don't worry, I just want the WMG people to know that I am not old school.
You are current.
I am current. Reverend Agre can be old school, but I'm not old school. So please, make a date with me, IG, Saturday, 7 p.m. Last week, I couldn't come on because of WMG. If you're expecting me, please, I will come your way next week, coming Saturday, actually at 7 p.m. I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to my #1 young counselors.
Thank you, Mommy.
Tomorrow, when Reverend Agre and I retire, you'll be taking over.
Amen.
God bless you so much.
Amen.
And to my loyal, my host, co-host, please give me a word. No, I don't even want viewers. I want a better word. Consistentos. To my loyal consistentos, my loyal viewers, thank you so much. God bless you. Enjoy your marriage. Tomorrow, we will meet you with a testimony. God bless you.